So, what's the vibe this training camp? I mean, last year was what was last year. I don't know. How do you view this coming in?
I don't know. I'm just super excited. I think we got a lot to prove. We got for myself personally, just trying to not only follow up on a good year, but take it further than that. I just felt like I got a whole nother level and a whole nother step I want to take, not only on the field, but in the locker room, off the field and stuff like that. So, just blessed to have another opportunity, another season, and then as far as the team, man. Same, like, a lot to prove. A lot of guys, who know who they are in this league, who want to maintain that standard. A lot of guys who, got a lot of opportunity, who want to step up. So, that's what camp's all about, and let's get to it.
Last year, coming off last year, you feel like it's kind of a chance to look yourself in the mirror as a man? Not you, but I'm talking about 53 guys. I mean, you just kind of alluded to that, right? The guys have to kind of check themselves and realize, you're fighting for your job every day out here.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of the NFL. You got to prove it every year, every week. It's not really about, who you're supposed to be. It's about who you are. You consistently show who you are every day, every week. So, look, man, you only good as your last performance. Last one wasn't great, but look, we all 0-0, so let's get to it.
So you're again, the way last year went, we won't go into all that stuff. New head coach and a rookie quarterback, perhaps. Not a lot of expectations outside. Do you pay attention, or is it, hey, we'll show you?
It's funny. I was just telling my fiance, I'm like, it's hilarious because the NFL is obviously full of narratives, and narratives change every week. We didn't came in here and I stood here when we done had a lot of expectations and not lived up to them. Now we have no expectations, so it's just kind of like, again, you're only as good as your last performance. If they're not talking about us, they'll be talking about it soon. I'd have been sitting in a cafeteria and been ranked 32 by ESPN, and then 5 weeks later we the best team in the NFL, so it doesn't really matter.
Does that make it more fun though, or do you guys get to be more loose? Or?
Oh, no question. You got to enjoy the ride now. That's like I said, it's the beauty of NFL. You get to make your own storyline every week. So, just looking forward to playing that flag week 1 against Jacksonville.
You touched on wanting to grow both on and off the field. What are some things in the locker room that you're hoping to build upon to become a better leader?
That's a good question. Honestly, really just, with a younger team, it's weird now, like being year 6, like I know that's not old, but I feel like after year 5, you kind of on like just the other side of it a little bit. So I don't know. That's how I see it. But, we got a lot of young faces, a lot of new guys in the building. Just want to, show them the standard of which we brand ourselves in football, show them how we want to carry it, show how we want to be a teammate. First off, just lead by example. Help the guys along and, be that light and that helping hand to the young guy that was in a position that I might have been in, whether that's trying to earn his way on the team, whether that's trying to be a difference maker on defense or special teams. So just really just going out my way to try to help the guys, and help the team along in this process.
Do you feel like you're older because of the fact that like the year you had last year is now you can talk to younger players about what it's like to become a starter and accomplish some of those things?
Well, yeah, in the NFL, credibility is everything. So, even when I was making a lot of plays and I was a, leader and, a difference maker on the field, but, in the special teams role, it was certain things that maybe I wouldn't have been able to really touch on or really speak about. But, now after having the experience last year, it gives me, just more credibility because I can show them like, look, this is what my hard work has resulted into this. So I guess maybe they'll listen more, maybe, hopefully, but, we'll see.
Is there any pressure at all, in a good way, when you have the kind of year you had last year? Because now you have to, that's your bar now, right? Is there anything there?
Pressure is, pressure is whatever you make it. I put pressure on myself every day to come out here and compete and make a difference every single time I step on the field. If I come out here and practice and, I feel like I'm not showing that, I'm a guy, then I feel like I got to step up, I got to do something more. So I don't necessarily look at that pressure. I look at it as, look, that's what it looked like when I got my first opportunity. And, it was highs, but, it was some lows too. So I've been watching it, with a crucial eye, with a critical eye, just trying to build on, my mistakes and my errors because I just feel like it's just so much room to grow. So just looking forward to that opportunity this year and, starting off the training camp, and that's the first building block to another great season.
You had a record-setting year last year, but how quickly do you put it in your review and also remember, like, okay, this is what I'm capable of, and I get full opportunity?
Man, it was definitely one of them situations where, learning the league, you got to celebrate yourself. You know what I mean? So if you don't, you at least, feel, you know, some type of, you know, all right, look, at least I accomplished something. I did it. Like I made it. I played every game. You know, I was able to help our defense in a positive way. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, now follow up. You know, one of my mentors, Bobby Wagner, you know, he always tell me, he like, look, anybody can have one good year. He said a lot of people have had one good year and then disappear. So, you know, I think that's just this little way to kind of push me and motivate me to keep going. So that's really what I'm looking for. But those are the guys I aspire to be like. You know, the guys that, you know, are multiple-time All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowl. You know, those guys are, you know, Ring of Honor, you know, those type of guys that I aspire to be. I don't aspire to be a guy that just, you know, popped in, you know, and had a shine for one time and then just lived off of that for the rest of my career. So I still just feel like this is another level I want to reach to. So I got a lot of goals that I got to reach, that I want to reach, and look, I'm doing everything I can to get there.
Based on what you know, do you think Shaq will be ready to go? We'll ask Shaq, obviously.
We'll be the first day without a Shaq question. But, I look, man, I saw him in Tampa in passing a couple times. We was in different groups, man. He was in great spirits. You know, I know, like I said, I know he's doing everything he can to get back. As far as I know, you know, that's out of my control. That's with the training room and with, you know, with Shaq and his thing. But to be honest, you know, I've watched this dude, you know, not do any OTAs and do 1 week of training camp and then lead the NFL in turnover. So, I mean, wouldn't be the first time, you know. So, you know what I mean? He's a special player. So once he steps on that field, we all know what it is.
Dude, last question here.
You've been a leader in the locker room for a long time. Is that something that specifically you can help Anthony Richardson with, just navigating as he?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, you know, leadership is to everybody's personal style, you know. I know how my personality is and, you know, what that fits in, how that fits in with, you know, guys in the locker room and how I have to interact with people, you know. Anthony's got to, you know, develop his own style, but I think, you know, having, you know, guys in the locker room like myself, DeForest, you know, Grove, Buck, JT, having those type of guys in the locker room definitely gives him, you know, good examples to follow behind Quentin, obviously. And, you know, you got to learn from example. I think that, in my opinion, you know, the best leaders are the best followers. So, you know, as a young guy coming in, you know, with a lot to learn, you know, just following the guys ahead of him and taking by example, I think that'll put him in a good spot.